For more on this, I spoke to Jerome Cohen, co-director of New York University's U.S.-Asia Law Institute and an adjunct senior fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations.
There have been highly constructive agreements reached between the two sides, but never by official organizations. The agreements, and I think there are 18 of them so far, have been made by semi-official organizations. But now we've moved into a new stage. And that stage is, for the first time, officials in charge of cross-strait relations have met. And they met for the last 3 days in China. And that holds prospects then for further progress across the strait.
This new stage of the relationship, what's likely to be expected or what should be expected between the business links, and what might the challenges be?
Well, first of all, they hope to improve their communication. The two sides should establish official offices in the place of the other. Something like in diplomatic relations we would call consular offices or trade offices. And if such offices can be established, they would promote cooperation in various ways. They could look after business deals. They could further negotiations. They might even help solve disputes. They certainly can help if a representative of one side gets locked up in the jail of the other. There are many things that an official office could do. And I know the Taiwan side is understandably interested in doing that. So there are other things that could come from this new stage. We hope that the two sides will complete and implement the latest agreement that they have been working on, and that is an agreement to exchange services, to allow service industries to be set up in the place of the other side. There is an agreement now before the Taiwan legislature, but it's been pending a long time and has not yet been approved. There are also questions for how do you implement the agreement that was made in 2010 to exchange goods. This would be very important if that can be implemented in further detail.
Do you expect, or would you like to see perhaps a more liberal or more relaxation of the current travel policies?
Yes, that gradually is being relaxed. 3 million people from the mainland visited Taiwan last year. I think if this meeting of this past week is successful, it will lead to many more exchanges. And it will lead, I hope, to a relaxation of the restrictions against mainland investors going into Taiwan.
Where do you see, what particular industries do you see perhaps more significant opportunities on both sides?
Well, tourism so far has proved to be successful, but I think they will want to move into high-tech operations. After all, that's Taiwan's stock and trade. That's what Taiwan has been doing on the mainland. And I think that mainland investors may surely be interested in trying to get into high-tech industries.
Final question, what's the #1 challenge both sides face to get perhaps a broader agreement in place?
Both sides are under some pressure to decide how best to use the next 2 years, how to institutionalize their cooperation in order to assure that this remarkable historic progress that they've made since 2008 will continue. World peace can depend on this, because if after 2016 Taiwan policy changes for the worse, it could become a very dangerous situation and threaten international security and the security of the United States, as well as that of the parties on both sides of the strait.
That was Jerome Cohen, NYU law professor and senior fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations.